Okay, let's go ahead and finish this out. Very, very last video. Probably should only be about 5 or 6 minutes, so let's get this done. Okay, America as a Pacific power. We're starting to get bigger. Caribbean power. We have a canal, the Panama Canal. Yes, we start getting bigger, bigger, bigger. And Roosevelt says, speak softly and carry a big stick. Yes, McKinley did the Spanish-American War, but Roosevelt comes in with the Roosevelt corollary and says, anything over here, we have right to. Because basically we want money. But one thing that he does that is really, really cool is he takes the advice of Mahane. Remember the influence of sea power in history, modernizing from wood to steel. And he has the Great White Fleet built and sailed across the world. This is a really good story. Okay, 1907, Roosevelt comes into office, and what he does, and this is so totally his personality, is he looks at Congress and he says, I want you to sell our entire Navy around the world, right past our enemies' doorsteps, and wave at them. Because here's the deal. If they are going to mess with us, they're going to get our Navy. And I want them to see what they would mess with. And so it kind of goes along very well with that speak softly and carry a big stick thing. Look at our Navy. Look how powerful it looks, especially for 1907. And with that, Teddy Roosevelt shows his teeth to all of the countries in the world without even taking and lifting a finger. He just sails the Navy around. It's kind of like when stupid, teenage and young boys are sitting at a stoplight and they want to show you their, how powerful their car is. So they rev their engine. Well, they really didn't do anything by revving their engine. It's just they're showing you, hey, here's what I could do. This is exactly what Roosevelt does. And this Great White Fleet in 1907 is going to show the world that America is now a naval power. He who controls the oceans controls the world, remember. Kind of a good story. The also really cool part about this story, just so you know, good quiz question. Congress didn't want to send the Great White Fleet around. They thought it would cost too much money. And Roosevelt basically said, up yours. He basically said, actually, I have the authority to send them at least halfway around the world, so if you want to bring them home, that's up to you. And so that's exactly how the Great White Fleet got sold around the world. Now, there's one more thing that you also need to know. Another policy from imperialism has to do with China. It's called the open door policy. Let you pause this and get it down. It was put together by Secretary John Hay. It gave nations equal access to trade in China, and it guaranteed that China would not be taken away by any foreign power for trade from any other country. So basically what you're looking at here is a massive map of China. Remember, we had the Panama Canal to get to China. Why does China have such a big target on it for trade? Why do you think? You might want to write it out beside here. It's because they have the most people. You have tons of people. That's a lot of trading, more money, more power. Bam. There you go. So what we do is we go over to China and we ask them to sign this open door policy. And it literally is exactly what the policy named it. It opens the door to China for all countries. Now, that's the interesting thing. It's not just for us, because if we had said, hey, China, only trade with us, we would have gotten ourselves into a war with somebody. We're smart about this one. We say open it up for everybody. You see Uncle Sam right here holding the open door policy. You've got Britain. You've got all of these other countries, and they are divvying up China because everybody wants access to China because China equals money. Here's some really good cartoons. I love these cartoons. You have, again, Uncle Sam propping open a door with U.S. Army and Navy prestige to China. Again, China equals money. And then you have, of course, all of these countries, these bags, say England, this, France, and of course Uncle Sam is helping unload, and they're unloading them into China. Ooh, I'm getting low on battery power. So, very last stuff here, okay? You've got Taft. After Teddy comes Taft, okay? One thing that you found in the progressive era is that Taft was handpicked by Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy is not going to like Taft as much as he thought he was going to, but Taft is also going to be an imperialist president as well for the term that he is in there. And Taft, I always think of it this way, he is not exactly a confrontationalist. So how does he dominate imperialism? He does it through his pockets. Dollar diplomacy. So make sure you pause this one, get it down, and listen to this. He encourages the U.S. businesses to invest in all foreign regions. He basically says use dollars, not bullets, to advance U.S. authority down here. Whereas Teddy said speak softly and carry a big stick, Taft says invest in them, then when we say jump, they got to ask a question. What's the question? How high? Imagine if you owed me $500 and I said, hey, would you mind doing me this favor? And you didn't have the $500 to pay me back. You'd be like, yeah, sure, what do I need to do to help you? Because if you didn't help me, then I could be like, hey, by the way, you owe me $500. So Taft says all American businesses need to invest in Latin America. Because if you invest in Latin America, we say jump, they ask how high, economic stability, it works out for everybody. But that's Taft's personality. He's not a confrontationalist. Teddy was a confrontationalist. Teddy would have said, I need you to do this for me, and if you don't, I'm going to put my stick, you know what I'm saying? Last person, Woodrow Wilson, because remember, Taft and Teddy split the Republican Party, opened the door for Woodrow Wilson, and this is going to lead us into World War I. Woodrow Wilson gets in, and his imperialist policy said the U.S. should champion, I need you to circle, democracy around the globe to maintain world peace. He's going to end up calling this moral diplomacy, highlight, circle, star. Morals, circle that. Okay, that's the difference between right and wrong. It also is the idea that everybody has the right to self-determine what they want their world to look like. That's democracy. People have a voice. So what Woodrow Wilson is saying is we should let them pick what they want to be as long as it's democratic in nature. Here you have a really good cartoon of Wilson teaching Mexico and these other Latin American countries how to be democratic in nature. So you have a couple different things when you understand imperialism. You have the three presidents, Teddy, Taft, and Wilson. You could throw McKinley in there with the Spanish-American War. But overall, imperialism looks like this. We had the Industrial Revolution. It gives us too much product because we mass-produced it. So we need to export goods. So then we need access to foreign areas. Because land equals resources, whether it's buying or selling, which equals money, which equals power. You want a simple equation? There it is. Land equals resources, which equals money, which equals power. Write it down. Land equals resources, which equals money, which equals power. That's imperialism. There you go.